RJ's Adventures here. I'm up at Fred today. It is Friday. It is Friday, April 8th. Days run into each other when you don't work. But anyways, it's really, really cold. I think Ohio, we had kind of a mild winter for Ohio, and I think now it's making up for it. We've been down in the 20s. The high today is in the mid-40s, cloudy, a little breezy, not bad, but this weekend, the high Saturday is 37, and the low, lay down, and the low is one night, I think it's down 22 or 24 for the low. We have not opened the camper up, the fifth wheel up yet, and I have not put water into Fred yet. We was going to go this weekend and just fill it up and go somewhere in Boondock, try everything out. But it's too cold. It may or may not freeze, but why take the chance? Well, what I want to talk about today is GPSs and trusting a GPS. They're not a bad thing. I don't own one. I'm not against them. I would like to buy one for Fred here when we actually start hitting the road. You know, I've trucked almost 3 million miles in all 48 states and never used GPS. All I've ever used is an atlas. And I know all the new electronic, I get all that. But don't trust it. There was a case, I think it was 2 years ago, in Milwaukee. I'll show you a picture. The guy was following his GPS instead of his map, and it took him to a park, a city park in Milwaukee, and he was driving his tractor trailer, 18-wheeler, down a walking path that was barely wide enough for the truck. And then he came up on a walking bridge, and the GPS had him going across it. Well, this idiot tried to go across it, and he couldn't get the truck into it. It was just too skinny to get the truck in, and there he sat stuck. There was a lady, and I don't know if this one was GPS related, but it was another tractor trailer, and she was down southern Indiana, and she was trying to get over to Walmart, and went across a historical steel bridge with a 10-ton limit and like a 12.6 height. She was 13.6. She got like the tractor trailer a third of the way in, bridge collapsed. Historical bridge, and it collapsed. I don't know if that's GPS related. I couldn't really figure it out if it was or not. And then there's a story. This is a sad story. In Chicago, they was doing construction on a bridge, and it was a big, tall overpass looping into another interstate. And I think they was just building this to connect another one, and it wasn't built yet. So halfway across the bridge, there was nothing. There wasn't a wall. There wasn't nothing. It just whoop, dead end. The GPS routed the man that way. He drove off the end of the bridge, crashed at the bottom, and him and his wife died because he trusted the GPS. Know where you're going. I think that's a good tool, but it's not fail-proof by no means. Myself, what I've always used is a Motor Carrier's Atlas. Motor Carrier's Atlas. It has good roads, bad roads for trucks. Obviously, RVs can get down some roads trucks can't get. I get that. But what's nice about this is you can route yourself. The east and the northeast is just horrible for bridges. Chicago is horrible for low bridges. There's 10-foot bridges in Chicago. I've been up there delivering and get directions from the shipper or receiver, and they send you that way, and all of a sudden you're looking at a bridge that's basically below your windshield. It's that low. And it's like, come on, people. You know what I'm driving. So you have to back out. You have to back out into a busy street, and you go around the block, and you hit another bridge. And it's just, Chicago's horrible with that. It's better now than it's ever been, but it's bad. You heard a truck. But you can get this atlas, route yourself. If you're going from Florida to Boston, look on this thing. If you're going to run I-95 all the way, it's really no big deal. But if you're getting off on the 2 lanes and even 4 lanes, divided highways, look on this. You can go the front of it. Well, let me get it here. The front of it has each state in it, just like this. Has each state in it. Washington, all 50 states is in this. And if you look like right here for Washington, that gives you all the low bridges. And I think they go down to 11 foot. I might be wrong on that. Let me check. But I think they do go down to 11 foot. Well, there's an 8 foot too. 12, 10, 8 foot. So they do 9 foot 9. They do go low, and that's in Pennsylvania. But you can take your state route that you're wanting to take, and double check if the GPS routes you a certain way. That's fine, but look on the map and follow that and make sure that's a good way. B, you don't have anything that's going to knock the top off, because not only do trucks follow GPS and get stuck, tractor trailers, RVs have known to top off the top of their air conditioners and everything else going under low overpasses. Cars have gotten themselves in places they shouldn't have gotten into. And this is so easy. You can get this at any truck stop. This thing bounced around the truck with me. I think it's an 05. I think you can get them $40 for a laminated one. I call it the old man one, because it has the enlarged print, which is nice when you're getting older, because you can flip this to a page. Yeah, let me find a good one here. They all do it. Like Indiana. Here's southern Indiana. It's the west side and the east side. And then on the next page, you'll have the top part up by Chicago. But you can open this up. You can lay it here beside you. And the print is big enough, and I need glasses to read. I also know from traveling so much, the roads and the routes, so I can look at them and I identify them pretty quick. But even if not, you can find where you're at on the interstate. You can find out where you're at. If you're starting to have doubt what the GPS is doing, pick a map up and look at it. Don't make a mistake of topping your RV, or, years ago, I was going through Pennsylvania, and I had a lot of deliveries in eastern Pennsylvania. I think it was up in the Pocono area. And I had 4 or 5 deliveries, and I was going from one delivery to the next delivery, and all it was a 2-lane road. Took me straight to it. And I'm going down this little road, winding right along a river. Beautiful road. Well, I come up on a home, and there's a guy mowing grass on his rider mower, and all of a sudden he does this to me. And I'm like, yeah, hey buddy, what's going on? Not a mile up was an 11.6 bridge, and it was an old stone bridge, railroad, and that's how it was shaped. Well, I was young. I didn't know what he meant. So I had to back probably another 1/4 mile to another road and back in, and then turn around and go back. And I probably had to do another extra 30 miles to get around that bridge. But I didn't check my route. Who knows if the GPS wasn't invented yet, but who knows if they would have even routed you that way. But just be careful. It doesn't matter if you spent $5,000 on your RV or $500,000 on your RV. It's yours, and you want to take care of it, and you want it to go in the right direction without getting tore up. So GPS is not a bad thing, but I feel that's an alternative to checking your routes, checking low bridges, making sure there's, I don't know what the law is on RVs, how wide they are, but on trucks, once you get to 102 inches wide, you're restricted on a lot of routes. Illinois is real bad for that. You're restricted on the routes, and you're restricted on the weight, which an RV will never hit that weight. But I don't know if they'd ever get an RV, because if the route's restricted for a certain width, I'm assuming that means every vehicle. I just know commercial vehicle. So it's something else to check into when you're out piddling around and wanting to see the largest string ball string knit ball, whatever that thing is out in, I think it's in Illinois or Iowa. And you're just booting through the countryside, and all of a sudden you get pulled over, and he's got the measuring stick out. I don't know if they do that on RVs. like I said, I know the commercial end of it, and buddy, they will pull you over and put portable scales under you and get the measuring stick out, and there you go. But I hope this helps. It's an inexpensive way. You can also buy these maps. You can buy them in paper. I think they're only about $15, and it's still the commercial. So I like the laminate. It lasts forever. That, like I said, that's an '05. Excuse me. Randy McNally updates their stuff every year, and I forget how many thousands of changes where new roads are made and 2 lanes are turned to 4 lanes, 4 lanes turned to interstates. So, you know, every few years, I used to wait too long to buy a new map, but I think when I got this '05, the one I had prior was a '97. So there you go. But you know, I can go across this country and never open a map and just go because I've done it so much. But when me and old Fred and Julie and old Willmeister here get out and about, the interstate is not what I want to be on. I've traveled this country looking through the windshield of a truck and looking at the roads I wanted to go down and was never able to. So I will be looking at that map, and I will be looking at my GPS and putting them all together and find what's best for me to get down without tearing anything up and getting stuck. There you go. Hope it helps. Any questions, comments, leave them. Like, share, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There you go. You guys have a good day and stay warm. I got to figure out what button to hit on this silly thing. I got a remote on it and I ain't got my glasses on, but there you go. We'll see you guys.